Hello friends, welcome back to another episode of crypto option selling, and this video will be focused on the price action learning on the degree of trend lines, at which degree the trend lines are more stronger, and at which angle the trend line is weaker, and at which time frame you should choose to draw trend lines. Firstly, I will discuss about the time frames at which you should choose to draw a trend line. Firstly, we will talk about that the bigger the time frame, the stronger the resistance or support the trend line takes. For example, the monthly trend line, when we draw the trend line on monthly swings or monthly touch points, for example, like like this, these resistance points will act for a longer time period, and these resistance points on a monthly time frame trend line will be stronger, and it will reject, and if it will reject more as compared to in the lower time frames like weekly or like daily time frames. And if the breakout of this trend line occurs, then it will be also strong. You will see a strong breakout when this occurs on monthly time frame. Similarly, if you see the touch points on weekly time frame, it will be less stronger than monthly time frames. Okay friends, then if you see the touch points on daily time frame trend lines, then it will be much weaker than the weekly or monthly time frames. So you can understand that monthly time frame touch points will be more stronger as compared to weekly time frames, as compared to daily time frame. This was the theory of this topic. Now I will be explaining more about deeply about this topic with examples. For example, you can see that we if we draw a trend line from this lower level to this upper level, and another trend line we draw from here to here. Firstly, we will draw this trend line. Okay, now you can see that at daily time frame, this trend line is showing very respecting this support very strongly, and the breakdown when it occurred, it was strong. The breakdown it occurred, it was strong because this trend line was drawn on a daily time frame, not on 4-hour time frame. I do not suggest drawing trend line in less than daily time frame, because the reason of it is because the bigger the time frame, the stronger the confirmation of breakdown or for a reversal. In this case also, you can see there was a sharp reversal which led the market into negative to sideways trend. Currently the market is sideways to negative trend. So you can see that this breakdown at daily time frame was very strong. Similarly, you can see the trend line at 4-hour time frame also, which was not very strong, and breakdown was occurred, but it doesn't followed. I will give you a perfect example of 4-hour time frame breakdown or breakout. You can see that this trend line, if we draw a trend line from here to here, there are also multiple touch points. This, and the breakdown occur. Immediately the market retraced. So at daily time frame, at 4-hour time frame, or at 1-hour time frame, when you draw trend line by using these near points, then they are not as favorable, or they are not as strong as compared to the weekly time frames, as compared to the weekly or daily time frame. So I usually use bigger time frames like weekly, daily or monthly for drawing trend lines, because their supports are stronger, because their breakout are stronger, and when they trigger a momentum, the momentum is also stronger. Okay friends, now the first point would be clear, then at which time frame you should choose to draw a trend line. Now second point, the main point of this video, is the degree of trend line. So for example friends, we are drawing a trend line from this point to this point, and another trend line we are drawing from this point to this point, Now you can by visually you can see that which trend line is more attractive, or which trend line is more picture perfect, and which trend line is more perfect. Obviously you will said that always you will say that left one trend line is more picture perfect and more accurate. As you can see, this the picture perfect touch points here, here, these are picture perfect touch points, and when the breakdown of these touch points occurred, you can see that this triggered a big sharp fall in the market, and the market has after that doesn't hasn't reached the all time high after the breakdown of this trend line. So you can see that the breakdown was much better as compared to this trend line. This trend line is drawn on the daily time frame also, but the touch points are making this angle lower. This angle is less as compared to this angle. This angle will be more. If you calculate the angle, this angle will be more as compared to this angle. So the breakdown was more in this trend line as compared to this trend line. The breakdown was less. The further the market can fall by taking the resistance here, and then further it can fall, but the first move was more sharper in this trend line as compared to this trend line. The reason was the angle is less and the angle is more in this trend line. So the degree of angle, the more momentum, the more sharp momentum initially you can notice. Okay, and the less the angle, the less move you will notice. Okay, and the more the angle, the lesser strength of the trend line also is there. For example, if the trend line is drawn very steep, if the angle is more, the strength of the trend lines become weaker. If the angle is more, the strength of this trend line becomes weaker. If the angle is more, the more chances of breaking down occurs. The trend line will break down more fastly if the angle is very steep, if the trend line is very steep as compared to less angle trend lines. This was the theory, but this was the theory which I have read in the book of John J. Murphy. You have heard of him, and he has written a very thick book. I have studied it, and this concept is given in that book. But I add one more point to this concept, that if the angle is more, the breakdown also occurs as sharp. Breakdown or breakout will also occur sharp. If the angle is more. Similarly, if the angle is less, the breakdown or breakout is less or is light, and the strength will be, the first move will be not as much as compared to a bigger degree of trend lines. So this point was also important, which you should consider while drawing your trend lines and while you trade in the market. I have practiced almost thousands of charts daily, and by practicing them, I have mastered these concepts of drawing trend lines. What touch points will be more effective? For example, these swings that this trend line has making are picture perfect swings. These are picture perfect swings as compared to these wicks. These wicks of trend these wicks are also making a trend line, but you can understand that this breakdown was not as strong as compared to this breakdown. So you should have a comparison on the basis of the picture perfection of the swings or picture perfection of the wicks that are making. So this point is also important. The swings and wicks point is also important. So I will summarize all the points I have explained to you. First point: the more time frame you choose, the more bigger time you choose, the more resistance and support levels are stronger. The more stronger the market follows the support and resistance levels of a trend line. For example, the daily trend line will more act the daily support level of the trend line will act more as compared to 4 hour or 1 hour. Similarly, the weekly trend line will be respected more as compared to daily trend line. Similarly, monthly trend line will be respected more as compared to weekly or daily trend line. Okay friends, now second point is that degree. The more the degree of the trend line, the sharp momentum you can observe. The more the degree of trend line, the sharp momentum you can observe. The lesser the degree of trend line, the less momentum or the less reversal will be there. The less reversal or less that reversal will be for lesser timer as compared to the more degree of trend line. The reversal will be of longer time. Okay friends, then swings. If there are more picture perfect swings made in the market, then this would be the breakdown of this would be better as compared to the wicks. If market draws wicks of the wicks of candlesticks, this will also show breakdown, but the as compared to this would be weaker. So I have understood these concept over years of times and thousands of charts practiced. So you can take a screenshot of this and keep it at when you draw trend lines. You should also always refer to this charts or these points while making a trend line. Okay friends, this video should be informative to you, and I will also show you some further trend lines that you can follow for current market reading. Okay friends, you can draw monthly trend line from these points. These points, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The market has successfully respected, as you can see, as the trend line is drawn on bigger time frame. The market has shown the perfect rejection by at reaching reaching these points. At reaching these points, the market has showed a good rejection. As I have told you earlier, the monthly trend line respects more as compared to daily trend line. The chances of breaking out or breaking down is less when the time frame is bigger. So you have to understand this point. If the price breaks out of this trend line, then the price breakout will be very much stronger as compared to weekly trend line break, as compared to daily trend line break. Okay friends, or if the price will definitely show rejection when it will reach this point. The definitely show rejection when it will reach this point, and it can take support 1, 2, 3, fourth time, fifth time, fourth time here at this trend line. These are my probabilities of taking support of the market. You can mark also, you can yourself mark these points also. Then on the second, at daily time frame, I have drawn trend line, which has been the market has been forming channel. For example, at this point market has taken resistance. At this point the market has also, this should also be considered resistance. The resistance should be you can, by observing regularly the charts, you can master that when market takes resistance, you have to also count the number of times market is taking resistance. The number of times market take resistance, that trend line becomes weaker, and the chances of breaking down or breaking out of this trend line is more. For example, if market touches this trend line, it will show either rejection or it will either move in this direction, and the target will up to this level, this trend line. You can observe fast momentum up to this level if market shows breakout of this level. Similarly, if market touch this points or falls in the in the negative side, you can see that market will be taking support at this level or breaking down from this level. Though both things can happen, you can observe when the things happen. You should take reference of these trend line and draw on your charts and see what market does. We can only assume certain probabilities. What market does, it depends on the market, but we should be ready with certain points or with certain theories before the market does some momentum. So when the market does something, we would be ready. If market touches this point and forms some pattern, we should be ready for selling the market at top, because selling at top gives you more buffer, and if it breaks out, you can also buy at this point, because it will be confirmation of breakout of this trend line, which has taken multiple times resistance at this level. So these trend lines will also help you to take entry in the trades or exit of your current running trades. So thank you friends, and I have a Telegram group also. You should join my Telegram group, as I constantly take trades and post these trades in my group. And the last trade I took on June 19, and I have posted this trade. and it was a wonderful trade. And market, after taking resistance at my level, which I have provided in the group, market has made a sharp fall, in this sharp fall after taking resistance at that level, which I have marked in the uh, telegram group. So you should follow my telegram group, so you will get the regular insights and updates on the market. Okay, thank you friends. If you like my video, please share my video and comment. If you have any queries, I will definitely answer your queries. Thank you friends.